GM crypto news announcement here. It is February 26th, and before I get into the video, please read the description below on the take of the chilling of the tokens. So let's talk about the price action of the majors really quick. So Bitcoin here at 84K, another leg down from yesterday. And okay, for the bull run thesis to continue, Bitcoin has to stay above 75K based off this EMA here. If it doesn't keep that level, then bull run is canceled, unironically. But there's honestly a very high probability that 82K to 85K is the bottom, because if you look at the daily, well, the EMA for the 200-day EMA likes to stay around this 85K range here. I mean, the fact that we're actually going lower and we're 82K is a little bit suspicious. So 75K is not out of the question for Bitcoin. It's still possible for it to go even lower here. And if that were to actually happen, then, well, not going to look the best. And there's some altcoin outperformance compared to Bitcoin. I mean, Ethereum can even say this is an outperformance. Solana hasn't even gone down that much, even though Bitcoin is going down to zero, because Solana has already been down only from the top here. So very interesting to see. But I want to show you guys some price action of some alts that are actually really strong for some reason, despite Bitcoin fucking is over. Maybe it's a sign of impending doom. I'm not really sure. Maybe it's just underlying strength. But liquidation heat map wise, there's no real reason for us to say that this is bottom based off liquidation heat map. It could honestly just go even lower, this bearish downtrend all the way to 75K, which it is a strong support on the weekly EMA. That is the only thesis for why 75K is the final support. And if this is not the last leg down, then it's a possibility, and it'll be quite an interesting thing to see on Bitcoin. But let's look at the price action of the alts here. So ARK, I still think this is my favorite project in AI. And you look at the price action here, and you wouldn't even think Bitcoin's at 84. I mean, look how strong this shit is. It's actually up on the day while Bitcoin is down. I mean, if this is not a sign that this is extremely strong. Of course, there's some other Solana projects that are a bit green, like AI16Z somehow. I still think ARK is a better project than AI16Z. Some things like even Fartcoin. I mean, Fartcoin has been down only from the top, so I'm not even surprised. And there's some other outperformers like ALK, for example. I'm not really sure why it's coming back. Most likely a recovery pump, if I were to say. If we were to look at the other coins here, so some sort of base tokens, well, again, nothing really too crazy to say here, honestly. Like Virtuals is... like the fact that it's not even gone down that much, it just shows how much alts have gone down, that they literally can't go that much more down despite Bitcoin going down by 10% every day. And if we look at the base meme coins, yeah, not really too hot. I would still say AI is the strongest. Solana meme coins, yeah. PopCap, I mean, PopCap's honestly pretty strong despite Bitcoin doing this. So meme coins and AI coins are starting to bottom here, and that's actually a very bullish sign for alts, I would say. So very nice strength alt-wise compared to Bitcoin. And what does this mean? Well, it's hard to time the bottom here. Bitcoin still has a possibility to go lower another 10% to 75K, which would be quite an interesting thing to see based off crypto Twitter. And if that were to happen, honestly, I would see some sort of reaction on alts again, maybe another 20-30% pullback, because they've already gone down so much. If that were to be the case and Bitcoin went to 75K, then that would be what you would expect. But the amount of results you would expect from the altcoins relative to Bitcoin, it's probably not going to be the minus 90% pullbacks like when Bitcoin went from 110K to 95K. 110K to 95K and alts pulled back 80%. Can you believe that? And now 95K to 75K, you'll think it'd go down much more. But there's literally all the sellers, there's nobody to sell. So the alts literally can't go that much lower. So I would still say look at AI. I still think AI is the best sector out of all of them. And of course, there's some Solana memes like PopCat that seem to be pretty strong here. So you can look at that, and even Michi. And make sure that you guys look at the holder scan metrics. This is probably one of the most important things. So you want to see the price going okay, at least down, I suppose, but you want to see something like this, an uptrend in the holder scan metrics. So this is why I like ARK, for example, so much, because it's up only like that. And the price action is so strong, and it's a very good project on the fundamental basis here. So this is why I like this project, for example. But I'll talk about the tweets here. T the Gamer charges $8 for Twitter subscriptions, $40 to $50 per Telegram channel, and 5 to 10 Solana for private chat. Just a hard chill rugs to everyone. But I also want to show you guys this manipulative ass marketing strategy where he's saying here, market is slow and I've been acting it every day for 1 year trying to help people. Please lock in. Do not fail your family. 5 to 10 Sol. Now investment can make your future kids money forever. Your choice. Love y'all, homie. Imagine quitting now and your family depends on you. Just saying, is this something scummy? And the fact that he's just shilling these rugs, because we know that this T the Gamer guy, these guys, extract money from the people who think they're going to get rich off his shills, but he's most likely not that great of a trader and most likely made a lot of money from insider trading, which is usually the case for all the meme coin people. So I wouldn't look at this, or if you were guys considering his product, well, it's most likely trash. I haven't used it personally, but just based off what I see on Twitter, most likely not the best. But let's look at this. Number of coins bonded per day, almost at 0. Number of coins bonded per day. Look at this. So the pump.fun metric is, well, it just shows how so many people are just not interested in the pump.fun rugs anymore. And that's pretty bad for new launches, the meme coin casino. This doesn't mean it's going to 0 forever, but I think it needs a sentiment reset before meme coins can come back. Just in 255 million liquidated from the crypto market in the past 60 minutes. Yeah, so let's look at a chart of Bitcoin. So the fact that it's been down only for the 3 days or so, this is another result of not just spot selling and fear and capitulation, but also because people are over leveraged. They're like, okay, I'm down so much, but I'm going to make it all back. And this is the final shakeout before the breakout, all that shit. And they're trying to max long their whole portfolio, trying to catch the bottom, trying to catch a falling knife. And this whole effect cascades into this large liquidation effect, which is why you see this large bearish downtrend because of this liquidations going on in the market here. So if I were you, I want to be touching leverage currently in these times, especially if you're not a good trader. I mean, if you're a good trader and you want to play this intraday scalps, then okay, go ahead. But for most people who are having no experience with trading and they think that leverage is a way for them to increase their gains, well, you got to realize that you get infinite more downside and you use leverage more as a method of capital efficiency instead of increasing your gains. Is the wrong way to look at it. Increasing gains is capital efficiency. Use it so that your other large of your money is in spot, and then like a smaller percentage, like 10 to 20%, is in the leverage trade or whatnot. I mean, that's even still, that's very risky, but something like that, you have to play that inverse barbell theory, but use it as a means of capital efficiency, not to increase your gains, because there's a certain point in the intersection where the amount of risk that you take is just not worth it for the amount of gains potentially you can make, because your expected returns is going to be negative. But let's look at this. Just in, President Trump announces 25% tariffs on the European Union. So yeah, this was another thing that made the Bitcoin's price go down today, and it's because of Donald Trump releasing tariffs again, which last time this happened on China and Mexico and Canada, well, the price didn't like it, and this is just this is cooked, bro. Well, let's look at this. Bitcoin fear and greed index is 21, extreme fear. Yup. So this is just another bottom signal that most likely we're near the bottom, and that's not to say like this has to be the bottom here, 82K. It could be, honestly, but 75K is still in the picture, man. So don't get too horny, basically. But let's look at this, where Bank of America CEO stays stable coins are inevitable, hinting both may launch its own token pegged to USD deposit accounts if regulations allow. Yeah, so a bank is going to be trying to make their own stable coins here, which the US actually does really want stable coins to be implemented into their own banking system somehow. And it's because all of the advantages that stable coins have compared to just regular money transfers, right? Because if you want to transfer money IRL in person, money, a lot of it, if you want to transfer, it's pretty heavy. But if it's just crypto like this, then it's just boom, like it's a digital transaction. It's fast as fuck, right? I'm not trying to go over all the benefits of crypto here compared to the US dollar and moving physical cash around, but it's going to be quite good. People are starting to see how useful this technology is. But let's look at this. How AXBT agents terminal sees ARC. Best play here is scaling in now while showing momentum, but keeps some dry powder if see a retest of recent lows. Sets stops below key support levels and be ready to ride volatility. This thing can move 20% a day. Key catalyst to add the launchpad rollout. Yes, I don't want to, or I don't really like super chilling tokens all the time like this, but I want to point out this ARC project because it is so strong. Out of all the AI projects, this is the strongest chart. You wouldn't even think that Bitcoin is shitting the bed here, and it is outperforming Bitcoin. So I think something like this has to be studied. And even AXBT, who is the biggest AI influencer, is saying, yeah, you should definitely DCA into this. You don't have to spend all your money at once, especially at times like these, because if 75K happens, then this will easily retest the bottom edge of this wedge here. But even still, that's quite impressive to see here. So it's something to look at, right? Last thing here, the McRib is gone. Bitcoin historically goes up 2x after McRib leaves. Don't fade the McRib, not financial advice. So this seems to be some sort of indicator about the McRib, where when McRib leaves the McDonald's franchise, Bitcoin always seems to have some sort of pump. And obviously this is satire because some people like to have the alignments of the stars or full moon cycles to try to predict Bitcoin's price action, and they aren't. Just because they might be correlated somehow doesn't not mean that they are caused by it. So it could be an interesting indicator if you want to look at like astrology cycles or moon cycles or whatever the fuck based off certain time frames, but most likely it's just our brains trying to make connections to create a reason for why something's going up or going down. And I think it's kind of funny, this indicator here, the McRib leaves. I mean, it has been right 3 times in a row, so maybe it is another indicator for the Bitcoin's price to rise here. But it also could just be because McRib, well, you guys could see that it leaves about 1 to 2 years or so, but I'm not trying to explain what could that mean, but that's pretty much all I'm saying in this video here. So Bitcoin, it could still go a little bit lower to 75k. It's possible. If not, then it should bottom around here, and then we'll probably see some sort of relief rally sometime soon. And when that happens, then the current alts that are really strong right now, like Audic and AI coins and even Popcat, these will bounce insanely hard when we see some sort of rally. So now is the time to dollar cost average. Like, I wouldn't say deploy all your money at once, because it's still possible we have another leg down to 75k, but that is probably one of the best opportunities currently to get into some really insane prices, assuming that the bull market thesis stays true with increased liquidity and the TGI spend down from the government. But that's pretty much all I want to say in this video, and I'll see you guys.